first of all, I'd like to express my gratitude for organizers to have me here. Today, we are in January, in the middle of pandemic, but however, we can organize, thanks to organizer, thanks to brave people here, to have a real discussion that we miss very much in the time that from probably Middle Ages is the first time that we are so freezed and we cannot express ourselves, we cannot do our businesses directly, and we have to be in completely new situation. A Baltic region has a special role in Polish history and a special role in Europe from Hanseatic times until today. It's a crucial and central place in trade and growth. Yesterday I was looking the tables from Eurostat, and we see that the growth in this region is above average in European Union, and it's thanks probably to the history and to entrepreneurship that my predecessor was talking already. We in Poland have a difficult history, as the same as 3 Baltic states, and when the Council of Baltic States was created, many countries expressed the willingness to join, and today in Baltic Council we have countries that are not in the Baltic Sea region, like Norway and Iceland, for example. Observers countries are from Hungary through Belarus to United States. So the region is important, and I would say that it has three positive things that for future make the region important aim of investments and of growth. First thing is the entrepreneurship and the willingness of the 3 countries and Poland to be back to the most dynamic countries in Europe. In the history, these countries were many of them were cradle of inventions. We were first in trade. Due to the communist times, it stopped, and we are back on track. We were the very good performers in growth until 2009. After the crisis of 2010 to 2020 to 2019, we were also performing very well. And when I talk today in Berlin to entrepreneurs and to businesses, to Ministry of Economy, they tell me that these countries, so 3 Baltic states and Poland, are the future of German industry and future of German economy. In comparison to the southern part of European Union, these countries were performing the first wave of the pandemic pretty well, and the trade didn't decrease much. The trade between Germany and Poland, for example, will have only 3 points of decrease when we compare to trade Germany-Russia, about 20% decrease, and in the Baltic the same. The decrease is very low. It shows that the potential of the region is good, but we don't use the majority of things that lay here and have for us opportunities. First thing that we don't use much is the digitalization. My predecessor told that in the Baltics the process is very well developed, but still this pandemic makes acceleration of the processes. And the companies who invest from abroad, they would see that here the acceptance, in the social acceptance of IT in Baltics and in Poland is one of the highest in European Union. It makes us an interesting investment aim for many companies from America, from Silicon Valley, as well as from China. Second thing is the energy. The green energy, Green Deal is important thing in European Union, and the countries have potential geographically located in the middle of the wind trace, and the wind is blowing in the Baltic Sea with very big strength from around November till March, and the offshore parks are probably the good investment for 2021 to 2031. In these 10 years, probably we will have biggest growth of investment in this sector. And in Germany, it looks like the Greens are ready for government. So in the next government in Germany and the willingness of these countries to develop offshore parks, the potential exists. The third thing is just transport. Transport routes are very important, and we are neglected. The region was neglected during communist times, so the north-south axis is really important. When we invited American troops to Europe in the discussions, political discussions, it was pointed that there are not enough ways from north to south. When you travel from Poland to Baltic states, you need to go north through Lithuania, later Latvia to Estonia, and the roads down to from Poland to other countries like Hungary and other to the Balkans are not developed very well. So here is the potential of development. German construction companies, Polish construction, Baltic companies are really interested in future in the development of this kind of routes, as well as the sea routes that need to be developed. So my comment on the questions that you put me here. What challenges these sectors, so the transport, the energy, are facing, and what opportunities lie ahead? I would say that the challenges are digitalization and pandemic, and the opportunities are a good return on capital. If you invest in these countries, you really have a very motivated workforce, and the return of capital is high because we are not so restricted in many bureaucratic procedures as we meet in the Western countries of European Union. We learned through the communism that working is the priority. The trade unions are important, but the work is more important. And finishing my speech, I would share with you a small anecdote that once a company that is established here in Germany could not reach anybody of the offices except of Polish. And it was in the midnight, and somebody picked up the telephone in Poland because they are always ready to answer questions. They see the importance of trade, and Poland and Baltic states are really motivated for future investment and future trade. So thank you for having me here.